So this woman came to me for a spiritual consultation, and she had won it as a prize in a raffle at an event she had attended. And when she turned up at the door of my apartment, she looked so nice. She was beautifully dressed, in her 50s. But as I looked at her, I could see that there was a sadness behind her eyes. And I could see that the session we were about to have together would be really important and really meaningful to her. So I took her coat and we sat down, and I really wanted to do a good job for her. And as I began to connect in with her energy and to begin to speak about her life, I must be honest, it did not go so well. I was having difficulty honing in on what was true for her. I was having difficulty picking up on what was real for her, what her emotions were. And so when she left, it was one of those sessions that I'm really glad she didn't pay for, because I might have considered giving her money back. And so I didn't hear from this woman for a few months after that, until one day I received a frantic phone call, and I didn't recognise the voice or the number, but the person on the other end said, "I have to come and see you. I've had a session with you before. It's an emergency. I'll pay anything. Can I come up now?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? Come up and see me." And so this person arrived at my apartment, and it was the same woman from a few months before. And based on the experience she'd had previously, I was a little bit surprised to see her. And so she took her seat where she had sat before, and she said, "Lauren, before we do this reading, I have to tell you something." And she told me that she was adopted, and that the reason that nothing I had said to her had made sense was because I had spoken about her father, who she never met, who had passed away a number of years previously, her mother, who she had never met, her grandparents, where they grew up, all of these family constellations that she had no conscious awareness of. And then she told me that she had been searching for her birth mother for 40 years. And for 40 years, she had been living under a cloud of being sure that she was worthless and unlovable and not knowing how to relate to her children, because she had never understood why it was she had been abandoned or rejected or had to be put up for adoption. She told me that in her search for her mother, it had been dead end after dead end after dead end. No one seemed to know anything. And she told me that she had listened back to the recording of the session that I had done for her, and something I had said had given her an idea, a flash, a bolt from the blue about where to look next. And she had followed that hunch, and after a 40-year search, she had found her birth mother. She told me that they've recently just spent their first Christmas together, and that she is now somebody who is absolutely transformed from healing this relationship with her mum. She always wanted to move to Switzerland and never had the courage, and now she has. She always wanted to have a better and deeper, more loving relationship with her own children, and now she does. And she is a woman to look at her face who seems years younger and completely transformed from within. And as she told me this, we hugged and we cried and we just embraced, and we couldn't let each other go, because we felt that both of us had been part of a miracle, part of something really wonderful and really special, something that was bigger than us both. And when she left and I clicked the door of my apartment closed and basked in that feeling that she had created in my home, I honestly felt in my heart that I could drop dead that second and I would know that I had been part of a miracle. I would know for certain that I had been part of a higher power that had changed somebody's life for the better.